Hi, welcome to the special edition of Toastmasters in the lovely city of Denver, Toastmasters in Convention, having lunch. My special guest this morning is going to be Don Bittick, Region 5 International Director, and Toastmasters International staff member, Wally Kaczor. Welcome to Toastmasters in Convention, having lunch. Welcome to Toastmasters in Convention, having lunch. Today I have Mr. Don Bittick, who is their outgoing Region 5 International Director. And then we have Wally, and I cannot pronounce his last name. Kaczor. And he is part of the Toastmasters International staff. So if you've ever made those calls, he's probably one of the people you ended up having to talk to. How long have you been in Toastmasters?
I have been in Toastmasters for just over 17 years. 17 years.
Wow. Are you one of those people that said, I should have discovered Toastmasters sooner than later?
Yes, absolutely. I wish I would have discovered it right out of college. Never heard of it. I went to work for a company. Didn't even know they had 2 clubs there. I was working there for like 5-10 years, and then I discovered that they had clubs in the company I worked at. And it wasn't until someone invited me to an open house, and I had a free lunch, which is why I went.
Free lunch, that always happens.
And then I was hooked.
Now,
yes.
Now, what was your first club?
The first club was a corporate club. The company was HCA Healthcare, and our club name was HCA Creative Communicators.
Okay, I've always wanted to know this, Wally. As a staff member, are you a Toastmaster?
I am a Toastmaster. So I was a Toastmaster in California for the Riverine Lunchtime Toastmasters, and I recently joined our internal corporate club. We have one at the actual company.
There's a Toastmasters
Yes.
club within Toastmasters International.
Yes.
And who's the guest? Who's members? Who's members in the club?
There's a lot of members. There's about 25 members that are actually in the company, and we have a few. We have Marcia from District 26, the immediate past district director, that's in our club, and a few others. Dan Rex is also in the club.
So yes. Dan, okay, that's for all of you who don't know who Dan Rex is. He is the CEO of Toastmasters International, and I've always wanted to know if he was a Toastmaster, because you never really hear, him talking about being in a club. And I don't know if it was intentional or just because they wanted to focus on us as members of Toastmasters. But now I guess you answer that question for us. 17 years, and then somewhere along the line you became a club officer, obviously, and then moved on to district leadership. And what district were you in at that time?
At that time, yes. It was District 63 that encompasses most of Tennessee, the southern part of Kentucky, and the western part of Virginia.
Wow, so it spans across states.
Yes, 3 states.
Wow.
3 states.
I will never ever complain about my district.
I know, right?
4 counties. People are complaining driving from Naperville all the way to Mundelein.
Which is what, like 30 minutes?
An hour at most.
An hour at most.
And I'm part of District 54, where one of our conferences was all the way down in Decatur, and it's a 3.5-hour ride. So I will never complain that. And what was your first district role?
My first district role outside the club?
Mm-hmm.
So it was very interesting because when I first joined Toastmasters, I went 5 years without even knowing there was a district. I had not met an area governor, a division governor, any of the trio members. And then I attended an officer training, and they asked me to present the new CL manual. The new CL manual at the time. So I made a Jeopardy type game out of it. And the district leadership team at that time was somewhat impressed with how I presented the new CL manual. The next thing I know, I'm co-chairing a conference and then serving in area governor role, area director role.
Wow.
So I didn't know anything about the district until I did that session, and all of a sudden I'm an area governor and I'm co-facilitating a conference.
Did you ever hesitate when they said we would like for you to be an area governor? It's okay to say.
No. So I didn't hesitate to accept and understand what it was, but I didn't answer after the invitation.
Okay.
I asked why. Why do you think I would be a good area governor? Because I know a lot of people get asked to do things just to fill a spot, but I wanted to know from them why they thought I would be good in that role. Because I wanted to make it personal. I wanted to see why they were asking me. And then once they explained it to me, then, oh yeah, it was easy to say yes.
But I think from people who see, especially the fact that I've known you now for quite a while, was you like helping people. I mean, genuinely, you were involved. When I attend the regional peer meetings that we have, you ask us stuff, and at the same time, you give us great advice because you've been in the same spot as we were. And it's very profound. And sometimes you even ask us, what help do you need? Because I'm here for you. And that's how I know you. The district leadership at that time just said, not only because of the whole contest thing, that the little game that you played, is that this guy can help. So that's something that you enjoy. Now, as part of the staff, are you allowed to become a district officer too, or?
I don't think we can. I know that I'm a club officer, so I'm the treasurer, which I'm finance, so it's kind of.
I hope that works out for you.
It does. And then I think it's a conflict of interest, so we're not allowed to. Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel the same way you do. We met when you were a region advisor, and we were at a mid-year training, and I do feel the same way out. He definitely cares, and it's great to see. Yeah. I'm glad to have known you that long.
I was like, I saw him at our district conference. Like, I finally get to meet the guy who I've heard on the phone once. That was just once. He was our outgoing region advisor, and it was such a huge impression to me. Like, wow, that guy was really nice. Yeah. You know, he was very helpful.
But if I might add something to what Wally said, as a region advisor and now as an international director, I can't stress any more than this that the World Headquarters staff is truly amazing. Because anytime we facilitate a session, anytime we make a district visit, anytime we're in board meetings, the World Headquarters staff is right there, making us as comfortable as possible, making sure we have everything we need, and I just can't thank Wally and the staff enough.
Thank you. I echo that because serving as a club growth director last year was my first experience in the district leadership training. And then all of you were so helpful because anybody who's a club growth director, we're all fish out of water and going, I think this is what we're supposed to be doing. But you answered quite a lot of our questions because some of them, we just raised our hand and say, I don't get this. And you guys have been so helpful, especially in the mid-year training. I don't know why it was decided to be Cleveland in January, but it was fun. Definitely getting to know you and Greg and the whole staff. That was so helpful that you guys were with us in Cleveland on a very nice, cold, snowy winter kind of thing.
So did you say you don't know why it was in Cleveland in the winter, or just why it was Cleveland? I'm kidding.
No, I know my friends over in District 10.
I love Cleveland, folks.
District 10, we love you.
That's right, we do.
It was fun. I know that because some of my friends in Europe, Robert Vandermeer and friends, they get to pick nice, wonderful places somewhere in Europe, the folks from Asia, and then we had, no offense, Cleveland was cold. I'm not going to deny that one. Tell us about the difference between region advisor and then international director, because most of the people who watch this are regular club Toastmasters. They, just like what you said, most of them don't even know what a district leader is.
Yes, absolutely. The best way I can explain region advisor is that it is an area director on steroids.
Yes.
Area directors work with the operations, the development support of our clubs, whereas a region advisor works for the operations and development of our districts in the region. Now, the difference between regional advisor and international director is that international directors are more strategic in nature with the organization. So we meet with the board of directors, the executive directors, and we plan the future of the organization. And we look at the organization as it is and how can we improve it. We talk a little bit about operations, but not to the point that regional advisors do.
You set the course of not only the following year, but we're talking about years ahead.
Yes, we're currently working on the new strategic plan for 2020 to 2025.
Wow. Okay. So that's really forward thinking.
Yes.
And by then, we would be celebrating, we are celebrating our 100 years at that point. Wow, this is 100 years. Now, for you, your involvement, club versus like the district, where do you fit in the whole system? Because you said that you're in the finance part for
so
Toastmasters.
I've been with the company for 7 years in September. So I started in district finance, where it was just focused on all the districts throughout the world. So back then there was less than 100. And now I'm on the world headquarters side. So I'm oversee the day-to-day operations to get the board package to the board of directors every month.
Oh, wow.
And everything internal.
Okay. And you're also the guy who helps us out. District, we don't know what this is. Can you explain?
Yeah.
How often do you get those calls where trying to understand about the budget part, especially, but most district leaders, this is where they learn how to do budgeting on a gigantic group. District 30 is 126 clubs. Then you have to learn how you're going to spend the money, and as a nonprofit, you're not going to have a profit at the end of the year.
There's a lot of calls initially. I feel like the first few months when new officers are coming in, it kind of tapers down, but it's very often. I would say there's 4 dedicated members just to the district finance team that oversee the day-to-day stuff, and then Greg oversees them. So there's actually 5 now.
Oh, okay.
And they're getting calls. I hear them probably 5 or 10 times a day, and answering hundreds of emails.
That's a lot of calls. Now, what's the typical question that you always get asked?
The most typical question, I don't even know.
Besides the fact that it's like, what's this P&L that I just got?
I think a lot of times it's about the budgets and specific questions about revenues, expenses, stuff like that.
You can join us because being interviewed.
We're in an interview.
We were just talking about you.
Come say hi, Greg.
And then he runs away.
Where are you going? I need him to answer this question.
That was the Greg that Wally just referred to, by the way.
Yeah, Greg is awesome. So they ask you questions about what's this P&L.
Yes, that's probably one of the most common ones. And trying to break it down and what they can spend money on, what they can't, stuff like that.
Okay, and we just had a session this morning which focused on a lot of the policies and protocols. So for the folks, if you're wondering about where your dues go and exactly how the district spends it, we spend it very, very wisely, where we actually impact what the district mission is, which is we build new clubs and then support all clubs in achieving excellence. That means if we need to help a club rebuild, or the fact that we need to make sure that we help them out get their educational awards, or some people are really interested in speech contests, that's where your money comes through. These people help us out.
Especially Wally and his staff.
Yes. That's where we know, can we spend on this? Yeah, we're good. I can't thank you enough because, for one thing, you have been such a nice, wonderful source of information, a guide for us. You've been mentoring a lot of our district leaders, especially for somebody who belongs to Region 5. I know that this is your outgoing last convention as our Region 5 International Director. I can't thank you both enough for taking your time, your lunch with me to actually do this recording, and I'm hoping it's recording because I always make sure.
We're not doing this over.
Yeah, no, I knew you were gonna pull that off from me. I mean, I had the same thing. I was thinking, it's like, Deepak, would you come? No.
And I just want to say I love these two guys, by the way.
Thank you.
Wally and Noel, they're fantastic.
Well, thank you so much for Toastmasters Convention. Having lunch.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much for watching Toastmasters in Convention Having Breakfast. Make sure you click on the like button below, subscribe, hit the bell, and as Toastmasters, we love feedback, so make sure you comment below. Until then, see ya.